Welcome once again. Like I said, we've got a split audience. I've got a handful in the classroom and our online parents as well. So I'm Coach Keener. I'm the boys varsity coach, and in the other room over there and on your screen is Coach Kargauer, our girls coach. Our contact information, I'm going to try and share my screen with the online folks. If you at home can see that, maybe just give me a wave or something. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Our contact information is at the top there. We both obviously teach on campus. During the day, we're all over the place. So I would say email is probably best for us during school hours. Afterward, obviously, we're on the court. So our cells are probably better. Like if you need to send us a quick text or something, we'll probably get to it right when we get off the court there. So a couple things, and this hasn't really been much of an issue in the past as far as player expectations are. Academics are very important with tennis. Like I said, hasn't been a big issue, but if we start seeing D's and grades like that start creeping up on grade reports and things like that, it may get to a point where it's starting to affect maybe court time and things of that nature, but hasn't really been a problem in the past, and those incidents seem to be far and few between. Our practice schedule, it's a bit unique because we do have the 7th period tennis class, and I would say 80 to 90% of our players are in that tennis class. So some days we don't even bother staying after. We try and accommodate all players, even those that are not in the tennis class. But as the season progresses and the rigorous schedule gets us a little bit, we don't always go 5 days a week after school or something like that. Typically, when the regular season starts, we have matches on Tuesday and Thursday, varsity matches. It's pretty clean all the way down the schedule, starting in February. So right at the beginning of February through the first week or so of April, Tuesday, Thursday, varsity matches. Whenever school's in, Tuesday, Thursday, plan on that. And then the girls will have one practice day after school where they get all the courts, and the boys will get one practice day after school where they also get all the courts. So it'll either be a Monday practice and Tuesday, Thursday matches, or Tuesday, Thursday matches with a Wednesday practice, okay, for the varsity teams. We carve out time for our developmental team and our JV level players on Fridays after school for about an hour. And then they also have a local Saturday JV league, which is not run through the official high schools. It's at DeSoto in Satellite Beach for our younger players. And I'll show you some of those details in just a second. Accountability and responsibility is also another thing we like to harp on with our players, is getting them used to handling their business. Meaning if you have to miss, if something comes up, have your player tell that to us, have them come see us. We like the communication. We like to know what they're doing, how things are going and things like that. And it's good for them to get used to talking to adults and things like that. So if they have to miss or something, encourage them. Okay, go tell your coach beforehand. We obviously understand that things come up and things like that. Match days, we'll cover that stuff in just a minute. Locations and transportation and things for the kids to eat and such. Fundraising, we did an online fundraiser. Our returning players, we did a fantastic job there. We've got Under Armour uniforms for the entire team. We're good to go there. They have mentioned that they want like nice hoodie sweatshirts. We're a bit short to pull that off, so I will talk to you in a little bit about other fundraising opportunities. The UTR match play events that Coach K and I have run in the off season, all the funds that we earn there, we dump right into the program account. So you'll notice pretty quick that we are hands down the most nicely equipped tennis team in the county for sure. Going to the snack requests, and this is the big one that the players are like, don't you forget to tell them that. On match days, it's unique because our matches start at 4 p.m., which means between lunch and the time that they get home or after our matches, they really don't have the opportunity to eat like a good dinner. So Coach K and I, if we're on the road or at home, we have a cooler full of drinks. We've got a bag full of little snacks and things to keep the kids, tided over until they can actually get something afterward. And these are the requests, the gummy snacks, the little cutie clementine oranges, pretzel, all that stuff. So, and you guys will all get this packet. These are the top requests. What we normally do is ask the parents, just send it in with your student. We can take them at the courts. They can bring them in here. I just kind of keep like a food pantry closet and drinks in the back room there, and we grab them as we need and take them to the matches there. So there's the master list. Down at the bottom, if each parent can donate a few bags of snacks and 1 case of water and 1 case of sports drinks, that should get us through the regular season. If it doesn't, I don't really have much shame. I'll put out an all call saying, hey, can you guys help? We're running low, because you guys know the appetites of the teenagers. So they'll just go for it and eat all day if you let them. And like I said, you get this list, so you don't have to really harp on it now. These schedules, they're basically mirror images of one another. Next week on Tuesday, we have got our preseason doubles classic at Eastern Florida State College in Melbourne. We've hosted this event for the last 6, maybe 7 years now. It's a great event. It's us, Holy Trinity, Titusville, and West Shore, boys and girls teams. We play a bunch of boys doubles, a bunch of girls doubles, and even some mixed doubles to kind of kick things off there. Besides that, you'll see starting in February, Tuesday, Thursday. Obviously, we get off for spring break. And then at the very end of the season, our district tournament. Those that have been around, we have hosted in the past at Fee Avenue. We're in a new district this year, and we got outvoted as far as the host. So Astronaut High School will be hosting this year's district tournament at the Singleton courts in Titusville, unfortunately. So we've got a bit of a drive for districts this year, but that won't stop us. We have one dual match where we are together, boys and girls, and it's this last match of the season. Both teams will be going down to Sebastian River High School. But other than that, say if the boys are home against Space Coast, the girls will be away. If the boys are at Melbourne, the girls will be home versus Melbourne, and the girls' schedule is right here as well. Okay. For some of our younger players, the JV League is run through the Space Coast Tennis Association. $20 fee they charge the kids. That covers the court time and all the match balls. Unfortunately, with the county's bookkeeping procedures, we're not able to cut a check from our account to pay to the Space Coast Tennis Association. So we do ask that the players do cover that fee. We do practice these players on Fridays. And again, those will start on February 11th, Saturdays at 1 o'clock. Low pressure, really, really good for our players that are new to the sport, that are just learning the scoring, how to hit the strokes, things like that. We've had great success at the varsity level because of this program and how it helps our kids get match play as they go through the ranks. Okay. And I'll send out more information about that as I receive it. Match day transportation. On varsity away match days, your player's coach needs to know, does your player need a ride? So for the boys, let's say we are playing at Satellite on the first Thursday of the season. Players with a driver's license with parent permission may drive themselves to the match. I've got no problem with that. Our school, maybe county policy is players may not drive other players to a match. However, a parent of a player may drive a different player to the match as well. So if you're a parent, you've got a big truck or a van, and you take your player, and I might need 2 or 3 other players transported, that's totally fine. I can also provide rides on match day. Coach K will go into some detail about getting the girls to different matches. We've got different vehicles, so the circumstances will be a bit different. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't have a big deal driving players to matches, but I would really, really appreciate if you could help transport your player home. That way I'm not driving all over the county or out of my way back to the school. I live in Satellite Beach by Patrick Air Force Base. So if we're playing up north in Merritt Island, I would prefer not to have to drive all the way back to O'Galley High School and then all the way back to the base. But I'm flexible. I can help in a pinch. But if you would like me to drive your player to a match and you'll be at the match and can scoop them afterward, fantastic. That works out so perfect for me. But for those individual cases, reach out to me, reach out to Coach K, and we'll make it happen. Sometimes for the long away trips, we don't really like the kids driving on the interstates. Like if we're playing at Melbourne and Fee Avenue, that's fine. But if we drive to Astronaut High School in Titusville and it's a good stretch at 95, I would prefer to drive the kids in the van. That way, we can all rest a bit easier there. So reach out to the coach regarding transportation, just a simple email. Hey, coach, I can drive so-and-so to all the matches. Perfect. That way I can get that out of the way. Any questions regarding transportation, either in the classroom or online? Okay.
Coach, I have a question.
Cross that bridge as it gets closer, but on match days, and just from what we've seen in the past, the code of conduct, and this comes right out of the state's official rule book. We will self-penalize our own players for code violations. For example, if you look at that list, visible or audible profanity, racket abuse, ball abuse, coaching by parents or spectators, that's always awkward. If you're a sophisticated tennis coach and you see something that I might not see, please come to me and tell me. That way I can relay it to the player. But when the parents start chiming in, it gets awkward with the other coach and everything. It's just something we want to avoid. And obviously it's against the rule. Automatic default, throwing racket at opponent, profanity at opponent, etc. No-nos. Okay. But at the very bottom during a match, if you have a physical or safety concern for your player while he or she is on court, please let us know. Okay. Spectators can cheer for their players, but not offer up any sort of coaching advice directly to their player without penalty. All right. Any questions on that? But obviously, if you see something, hey, I don't think so-and-so is doing too well, it looks like he or she might be sick or something, definitely please let us know. And then we'll handle that. Any questions in that regard? They're out there, they're on their own. The coaches are allowed to talk to the players on court as long as it does not slow down the flow of play and at every changeover. Sound good? Yeah. Moving on. Fundraising. Like I said, we did a great job with the online fundraiser. Some of you are brand new. We do offer the opportunity for local businesses and other organizations to sponsor us by purchasing sponsorship banners, and they would go up on our fence next to our wonderful seniors who will have posters up there soon as well. If you think that you may have a company that you work for, that friends work for, that may want to get involved and with the community and sponsor us, I will send that form out to everyone in email, or I can print some hard copies and give them to the players as well. But we would really, really like to partner up with some of our community and get those kids those hoodie sweatshirts that they've been really wanting. I think those are probably for the team going to run us about, if we have 20 kids, $700, just ballparking it, because they, of course, they want the nice Under Armour hoodie sweatshirts. So if you might be interested in that, we would love to have you. Lastly, and I'll email this out to you all, and for those that are in person, I'll print those out before you leave. We need one of these back for each player on the team. That way, if something happens, heaven forbid, on court, and there's an injury or some sort of other medical issue, this is the sheet we go to first. Say we're in Titusville somewhere and mom or dad, you're not on site. This is where we're going to look to reach out and touch base with you. Okay. So I will send that out. Coach K, do you have anything you want to add as far as things I may have overlooked?
No, nothing really to add. Just reiterate everything you said, and especially on the girls' end, we got a lot of new players, so definitely take advantage of that JV league on the Saturdays. That's a great resource for anybody new. And also, big thing, like Coach Keener said, you know, if your kid's not available to make a match or practice anything, just you know, have them communicate with us. They know where our classes are and for electronic communication, but definitely do that. That's all I got, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, we couldn't hear you for some reason. You're not on mute, are you?
No, I'm not mute. Can you guys? I think your sound line is working.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think it's yours, Coach.
You wanna come out here on my screen and talk to him, because we can't hear you. I'm not sure they can hear you at home either.
Yeah, 1 second.
On match days, that's a good question, Eileen. I saw that in the chat. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So what time do kids leave school to go to matches? On away match days, typically it's not a big deal. Most of them are in the tennis class. So after 6th period, we just leave together. We'll meet up in my classroom, then we'll take off. We'll head to our match. For those that aren't in the tennis class, they'll be excused from their 7th period class. We'll reach out with administration and their teacher and make sure they're excused. Those students that do have a 7th period that is not the tennis class, it can be a bit challenging, but reaching out to the teacher well in advance and just letting them know of that situation, that, hey, I'm going to basically miss Tuesdays and Thursdays. Home match days, they can stay in that 7th period class a little longer, maybe till 15 after, so they get a bit of it. But on match days, we'll definitely be gone, because all our matches, varsity matches, do start at 4 o'clock. Okay? Online, anyone have any questions? We'll do a little Q&A sesh. Matches end. That can vary. If it's a whipping, if one team totally destroys another one, you'll be out of there at 5:15. If it's a knockdown, drag out, every match is so close to the very end. I've seen them go like 7:30, but that's a rare occasion that it will go that long. So it's tough to tell. Tough to tell. Anything else? Any Yes. Yes. Yeah, the question in the classroom was for the district tournament that Tuesday and Wednesday in April. That's an all-day event. The kids will be excused from school that are playing in that event for both of those days. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you all in person and online for taking the time to join us this evening. We're hoping for a great season. Anything that we forgot, feel free to send us an email. I will email all this stuff out to all of you so you have it. For those that are not in attendance physically, I'm going to attach the tennis parent guardian info sheet that I showed you. And if you could, please fill that out either digitally or print it out and send it in with your student, because once again, that's probably the most important thing for us. Okay. Sorry. Hello, Coach Lustig. Yeah. All right. If there are no other questions, online parents, hope to see you soon at the courts and have a good one.